So the chapter begins with Ichiki wanting to summon Shiba and Hiyuki back to the headquarters. Now, if you forgot, Shiba and Hiyuki are busy guarding the remaining two sword bearers, and Ichiki is willing to risk the safety of the sword bearers to stop anybody from taking out the sword master, because if the sword master dies, then every remaining sword bearer is going to end up dying anyway. So then we get back to the fight involving Yura, Natsuki, Aruha, and Azami, and they're beginning to sense a certain presence, that being the Enten and the Tobimune. Chihiro and Samura are here, ladies and gentlemen. It is go time. I can't wait for them to jump in, but something is keeping them. What could that be? Natsuki and Aruha break down the situation with Azami, reiterating that Yura's intention is to use the Shinoichi's power to kill the Swordmaster. So Azami wants to make sure that they could hold off Yura until Chihiro and Mr. Samura pull up. And then we got Aruha fanning the area, using his big IQ and reminding us why he was a sword bearer to begin with. Starts noticing all the pillars getting destroyed, the library crashing down, but then he zeroes in on this pillar that's not so badly damaged. And then it is here that we get some Azami combat, who is motivated purely by Yura being behind Rokihiro's death. And then we get a 3-on-1. They are going in. We return to Ichiki, who's saying that he senses the Tobimune and the Enten, but he's wondering what's taking them so long. Why are they still up there? Why aren't they here yet? With the Tobimune's powers, they should be able to teleport right to us. And to make matters worse, the people within the Kabunabi can't even communicate to the two other bases to get in contact with Shiba and Hiyuki. It seems that the Kabunabi leader is still 5 steps ahead of our protagonist, because amidst the confusion, his comrades did good work in modifying the barrier, and Ichiki is wondering, to apply that level of barrier to the Enten and Tobimune to block them out, they'd have to focus its entire capacity against those two blades. Now, this sounds familiar. Then you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen, specifically when the villains used a barrier to only block out Gojo. Everyone else could come through, but just one, they had to tailor one barrier to prevent one man from walking in. It's crazy. The flex is crazy. But Ichiki is reassured by saying, even if it worked, this barrier, it wouldn't take long for Samura and company to break through. A few minutes at most. Then we get the Kabunabi leader, Kasen, laughing, going, everything hinges on a few minutes. The sorcerers here are pretty much defenseless. You know this. With the Shinoichi's powers, a few minutes is plenty of time to wreak total obliteration. Kasen brags again, going, you witnessed it at the Rakuzachi. Even the Enten and the Flamebone together could barely stand up to it. Sorcerers bearing conventional weapons have no hope of even buying time. We cut back to the 3v1. And we see Yura using Centipede again, wrecking Aruha and Natsuki. Oh, but we see Yura looking very suspicious behind him. Then we cut to a great panel of Azami ready to throw hands with Yura. It is here where we get Aruha's analysis of the attack Centipede, going that there is a weakness when he uses it, and the weakest point would be directly behind the wielder. And so Azami waited patiently behind Yura until he used a centipede again. Why is he waiting patiently? Because it seems like Cloud Gouger's May, there's a recovery period for centipede. It's just like the refraction period after I bust a nut. It's the same thing. I need, like, I don't know, some days it's like 5 minutes, some days 10. If it's a really pretty chick, give me about 60 seconds and I'm ready to go. That's, you know, refraction period. It happens to all of us. The bigger the load, the longer the refraction period. This was my interpretation. of this situation. Azami now begins to wonder why Chihiro and Samura haven't arrived just yet, but he says it doesn't matter. My job is the same, and Yura catches on to it quickly, buying time. Azami is now beginning to move even quicker, and Yura is wondering what exactly is his sorcery. Could it be a physical augmentation spell, like a Ruhas? But it doesn't matter to Yura. He shoots him with Dragonfly, completely wrecking and destroying his hands and arms. All you see on this panel is crack, splack, splat, snap, splat, just breaking of the bones and splattering of all the blood going everywhere. Yura begins to brag, saying, don't bother, without the enchanted blades you don't stand a chance. And then we see a floating coin. We still don't know what's going on with the coin. I'm just dying to know exactly what Azami's sorcery is. And then we see Yura shook up. At least I believe so. See, I understand what's going on with Hokuzono, busy working on all these color pages and the latest volume cover page, doing things for Shonen Jump, and now this New York Times International Edition piece on Kagurabachi, and adding this impressive artwork of Chihiro slicing through, showing the world what's popping here in the Shonen Jump world, what's new. Yeah, so it's hard to tell if Yura is going through some ish, like he's shook up by something, like something's happening to him physically or mentally, when, you know, we've been getting all these unfinished drawings, right? But yeah, I guess Azami has stopped him in his tracks a bit. And then it's here where we get the backstory of Azami's sorcery. We have the narrator going, it's a well-known home remedy. The different ionization characteristics of two different metals produce a faint electrical current. It regulates the electrical currents within the body to relieve muscle tension and pain. The technique was popularized by a certain local doctor. And it's here where we get a photo of this clinic called Azami Clinic. Rumor has it, he was able to utilize the intrinsic electrical current in coins to cure even serious illnesses. Now, the true secret was sorcery passed down through the Azami lineage over generations until a certain hot-blooded only son of the family adapted the sorcery for combat. And it looks like Azami's father is mad at him, going, how dare you bastardize our heritage, you stupid brat, get out. Kicks him out, somehow ends up with the Kaminabi. Anyways, here we are. The narrator goes, on the one hand, the power could be used to accelerate the user's blood circulation, enhancing physical performance. On the other hand, it could intensely stimulate the muscle fibers of an opponent. And I guess it's akin to being electrocuted, because Yura is just frozen right now, completely stuck, completely shook, and just explodes. I can't make out how coins can make people explode, and I don't care. I dig it. Azami is a freaking badass. Yura in his head is going, so he was bluffing when he pretended that he was unarmed. Sorcery is his true strength. But Yura brushes it off, going, is that all he could do? Just what, like paralyze me? Make me cough out a bit of blood? He's powerless. He has no arms. And he only has so many coins, right? Then Azami goes, don't worry, actually my real strength is my fists. And he clutches his destroyed fists and hits Yura in the side, right in the ribs. I believe so. It's hard to make out this picture. It looks pretty cool, all scribbled up, but yeah, it looks like a direct contact with the left side of Yura's rib cage, getting him to bend over, coughing out blood, holding on to his rib like a little pussy. He's looking at Yura going, with a broken arm? And Azami goes, you good with this? Chilling out here with us for so long? And I think he's taunting him, going like, was this your plan? Like, are we all in agreement for you to not go anywhere, to just hang out with us until Chihiro and Samura pull up? Yura goes, pissed off. Shout out to Hokuzono. He's going crazy right now. He's doing 20 things at Rust. I think there's an agenda for Kagurabachi to be pushed, and I'm here for it. If you don't mind, please leave a like on this video, subscribe to my page, and leave a comment down below. Share your thoughts. All right. Peace out.